Hey, this is Angie for Happy Healthy Vegan. So Thanksgiving is upon us here in America, and oh my god, I'm freaking out. It's always been a stressful holiday for me, not anything that I look forward to, because you know, I gave up eating meat in high school, and so this is a really touchy time. You know, this is a time when everyone in America is eating turkey and ham and like all this stuff that I'm totally not down with. So I've traditionally started off my Thanksgiving by listening to the Smiths' Meat is Murder, which you can imagine the kind of tone that set when I still lived with family. And anyways, the song will always make you sad. If you haven't heard that song, please go look it up and listen to it. It will move you. So anyways, once again, I was tempted to skip Thanksgiving this year, but at the last second, I'm like, I can't do that. My viewers are counting on me to show them how to do Thanksgiving in a plant-based style. And I have to admit, the last 2 years, my Thanksgiving videos were super last second. So, I don't know. I bought a bunch of really great produce on Sunday at Farmer's Market. And today, the day before Thanksgiving, I've been sitting here making a list of what I should actually make out of these seasonal things that I bought. And so I think I finally have my list nailed down, but I realized that at this point I am super undercarbed and I'm starving. Okay, so I've got all my ingredients in here. I'm just gonna blend it up. Might need a tampering tool for this. Voila! I just wanted to mention, being undercarbed on Thanksgiving is definitely a recipe for disaster. You do not want to be crabby stabby with your family. It is not a good way to start off the gratitude practice. So make sure that you don't get too hungry while you're cooking, you know, waiting for dinner to be served. Make yourself little snacks as you go along, just to keep an even keel. Alright, so ate my snack and sent Ryan off to the post office with all of your guys' orders, actually, for our teas and totes. Thank you so much for all of your support over at shop.happyhealthyvegan.org. Man, I should be representing right now. What am I doing? Anyways, after looking at all these recipes and talking to Ryan about what I was planning on making, we decided we can't wait till tomorrow. So I'm gonna whip up one of the recipes now. I don't think I've ever made this specific recipe before, but I'm gonna do a wild rice, a mixed wild and brown rice, like a kind of like a pilaf / stuffing with mushrooms, and I'm actually gonna use a dried mushroom mix that I got, and it's pretty simple ingredients. You gotta have celery. I bought a ton of celery on Sunday. Celery. Oh, I'm gonna add green lentils. Be using, I never do this, but I just thought for the holidays I probably am gonna need some veggie broth just to keep things, you know, easy. I don't make my own broth. So anyway, so broth, and what else goes in here? Well, I need some herbs. I just thought I'm gonna just make it easy and use herbs de Provence. So it's got savory, rosemary, basil, marjoram, and wild thyme. So it's a little more fragrant than like a traditional, but I'm also gonna add some sage to make it a little more Thanksgiving-y. I'm really tempted to put some apples in here, but I think I might have to save all these for the Thanksgiving recipes. I thought I bought so many, but now as I'm looking at all the different recipes that involve apples, that's like, more apples! And cranberries too. I asked Ryan to pick up more cranberries on the way back. I'll probably throw some cranberries in here. So I'm gonna get started. This isn't a recipe demo. I'm not even using my recipe per se. I found one online. What's this fat? Oh. I'm kind of just adapting a vegetarian, an about vegetarian.com. Is that what it is? I'm just gonna try to adapt this vegetarianabout.com recipe to suit my purposes, you know, minus the garlic and onion, minus any oil that might be in there, and yeah, anyways, just gonna Angiify it. So I'll show you some of the process, but more importantly, I'll show you the finished product. Whoa. Speaking of no onions and garlic, I can totally smell them in this broth, so I'm gonna water it down. This made me start to think, what do you guys think about me sharing other people's recipes? Because I know a lot of times on Instagram, I'll post a picture of something I made for dinner that, you know, wasn't my recipe per se. Like what I do is I look up the ingredients that I want to use on Google, and I look for a recipe that fits closest to how I thought I was going to put something together, just to kind of verify that that's, you know, the way that it's done. And, you know, a lot of times I don't find exactly what I'm looking for because I have such specific, you know, eating philosophies. I have to make a few changes. But anyways, you know, I can't say that it's my recipe. So, I mean, I kind of don't see that it would be wrong to like occasionally show myself making someone else's recipes and telling you what I did to change it, but I can't take full responsibility for that. So anyways, right now I've got the broth and water on boil, and I'm going to be putting in a half a cup of wild rice. Let's just do it now. All right, so I just put in the 3/4 cup brown rice that it asked for, and I realized since I'm using dried mushrooms, I better put these in now. You know, I've realized I really don't know how many dried mushrooms it takes to make the equivalent wet. It wanted 3 cups of mushrooms, so I'm just going to use a cup and a half of the dried. And I'm realizing I'm probably going to have to add more water to this as well because the mushrooms are going to suck up a bunch of moisture. Now also, the recipe wanted me to saute like the mushrooms and celery along with like onions and garlic, which, you know, I'm not going to do. I apparently have plenty of onions and garlic already in this broth. So I'm wondering at what point I should add those. So it already smells really deliciously of mushrooms. So what I've decided is I'll go ahead and cook this for a half hour, and then I'll add in my celery for the last 15 minutes. Oh, you know what? I wanted to add lentils too. Let me check out that. I feel so rogue. I can never just leave a recipe be. So I usually cook my lentils for about 15-20 minutes, so I guess I won't add them just yet. I'm kind of tempted to make them on the side. I'm gonna have to make these decisions off camera, I think. All right, so as you can probably see, I've invested in some little pieces of gear to help make cooking demos easier. So make my life way easier, and I now have a fully locking grip so I can get a better angle over the pot and don't have to worry about my phone falling in. And I got a little tiny light so you can actually see back here, because my cooking demos on the stove before sucked. But the only thing it doesn't have is some sort of smell-o-vision function. I wish you could smell it. It smells really good. So now I added 2 more cups of water in the cooking process in preparation for adding these green lentils. Looks like I may need more still because lentils can use water. Yeah, okay, let me go get some more. I'll be right back. You know, I kind of wanted to let you in on my process. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm always winging it. Here's a half a cup of water. And, you know, I think it's important. Like, our show is about the lifestyle. And part of the lifestyle is not being afraid to try making things you've never made before, and to stretch your limits. You know, like I said, I'm not a chef, but you know, that doesn't mean I can't learn how to cook. So yeah, see, some of this wild rice is opening up pretty good. So I don't know if a half cup water will be quite enough. What I also want to do at this point is put in my herbs, and so I'm going to add some sage. Not sure, a teaspoon. I know sage is kind of delicate, so you want to put it in towards the end of your process. Hopefully this isn't too soon. I found the herbs de Provence are pretty strong. I'm just putting in a tablespoon. I'm just putting in a teaspoon. Alright, so, wow, that really ups the smell factor. So here we go. Mixing it all up. Yeah, I'll do another half cup water just to make sure. Anyways, I've never done this before. Hopefully it doesn't suck, but I rarely make a dish that Ryan doesn't end up liking. I might want to add some cranberries to this too to bring in more of the holiday situation. But I think those should definitely go towards the end too. So, let's let this start to cook again. So Ryan just got home and he brought some dino kale, so I thought I would add some of that to this too. So I've got 2 cups chopped, and I've got, we'll see how this turns out. I really don't, I tell you, I make stuff up. It's like, oh, I've got a half a cup of the fresh cranberries, and I added in another 3/4 cup of the broth. It may end up being a cup more. We'll see. So I'm gonna put all this stuff in there and, you know, cook it another, like, I don't know, like 10 minutes with the lid on, and then we'll see what the heck I've got. All right, well, I didn't intend for this to be a recipe demo, and yet it kind of seems like it turned out that way. So this is the finished product. I will likely make some changes to it for actual Thanksgiving, but let me try a bite. Pretty hearty. Thinking I might want to drizzle a little tamari on here. I played with the idea of doing maple, but this ended up being so like a gooey kind of all together dish that I don't know if it's like stuffing or not. I don't know. Actually, those little cranberries are kind of intriguing. Let's see what Ryan thinks. Hey babe, you want to do a bite of approval?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've already started.
Uh-oh.
I've been doing nibbles of approval here.
Nibbles? I've been even scarfing of approval.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't know if there's anything you can add to the description of how this turned out, or...
I want to get in my belly. No, it tastes good.
Yeah, it's kind of like stuffing.
Yeah, it's a little bit stuffing-like, but not really, but kind of.
I sent him to a local bakery to get like a nice vegan baguette to make stuffing, and they were closed.
Closed an hour before I got there. Closed like at 3.
So it's a good thing I did this, like pre-prep on this, because I'll make a new version of this tomorrow.
Well,
Anyways.
I'm starving. Let's go eat this stuff.
I know I want to. So leave your comments down below, questions, yada. Like the video, share it with friends.
Subscribe
For more vegan content from the 2 of us here at Happy Healthy Vegan. And
until next time,
keep it carb, baby.
Keep it carb.
So anyways, I've just been, I made it, all right, let's try it again.